Tori here with a scrapbooking process video. I feel like it's been so long. Those of you who are like subscribing because you like my scrapbooking process videos, I am sorry. All of a sudden this morning I realized, like when I was doing this voiceover, that like I haven't done a scrapbooking process video in forever. Like other than my Scrap Your Scraps videos, which I've done the last 2 Sundays, like I have not made a regular scrapbook page in forever because I was doing December Daily and Project Life and I did a mini album. I don't know where I've been. I mean, I miss it. After making these, like this page and the next one that I worked on, I was like, I need to make more scrapbook pages. And I think what it was is I just wasn't feeling inspired. And as many of you know, I canceled my Studio Calico subscription and I just wasn't feeling inspired. But then I got my Felicity Jane Susie kit and I was like, I need to make a scrapbook page stat. So I started with this one and I'm really excited. It's sort of like a monochromatic one and I love the way that it worked out. So what I did was I grabbed 2 stamps that I had in my stash and had them there for a while. It was like a frowny face and a word that said loathing, like as in I'm hating. And I put those on my acrylic block and I used gray ink and I just stamped it on every other line. And I'm just going to hold it up so you guys can see it. And I love just that added texture to the background. I wanted to use gray ink so it wouldn't stand out that much. And it worked perfectly. So this striped paper came from the Susie kit, and then I just added that loathing and the little frowny face on every other line. And that may sound like a funny thing to put on a scrapbook page, but really I am scrapbooking about doing my taxes, which I really hated, and it was the first time I had ever done them, and it was the most stressful thing in the whole entire world. And I just hated it so much. So I felt like the stamp loathing and a frowny face fit perfectly. So let me tell you about this while I do this next step. Oh, first I'll tell you what I'm doing and then I'll talk to you about the photo. So I had a pin saved and it was a pin by, I believe, Kelly Perky, and she had used black letter stickers in the corners to like make corners, and I thought it looked so cool, so I wanted to try it out myself. I took it a little further than the pin, but I will leave a link to the pin below so you guys can check it out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add these black letter chipboard pieces that I have, which I don't even have enough to make words, but because there's only 1 of each or 2 of each, so I don't know. And I had them in my stash for so long, I was like, I'm going to use them, and I'm going to put them in the 2 corners to sort of create dimension, and you'll see that while I'm going. And those chipboard letters came from a Studio Calico kit, so they're not available anymore. So just as I'm doing that, let me tell you about the photo and why I'm scrapbooking it. So last year in April, I decided to do my taxes. Well, I mean, you have to do your taxes, but it was actually the first time I've ever done taxes. And I don't know why I've never done it before. Usually my dad does it for me, and I don't have to worry about it, but he was in Kenya, and so I had to do it myself, and it was the most stressful thing in the whole entire world. Like, I was so stressed, and everybody kept saying to me, oh, it's easy, you just get the paperwork from the post office, and you just fill it out, it's super easy. And everybody said that to me, like, not one person, but like 20 people kept saying. And I'm like, I don't know what to do. And they're like, oh, it's easy, just fill out the paperwork. And I spent days like trying to figure out how to fill out that paperwork, and like math and numbers and like filling in forms is just like not me at all. I'd rather be making scrapbook pages. So I was just so entirely stressed. And then everybody's like, oh my gosh, Tori, it's easy. Like, why are you stressing out? And I was like, it is not easy. And so then I finally asked my brother and my friend to help me, because they were 2 of the people who kept saying it was easy. And then they sat down with the forms, and then they were both stressed and confused too. They're like, wait, where, what? And so I thought it was funny that everybody kept saying it was easy, and then when I asked them to help me, they also found it very confusing. And later, I found out from people that the reason it was easy was they were all using programs, or they had not actually done it themselves, but like a tax person had done it. And I was like, seriously, I should just pay somebody. So next year, I'm definitely paying somebody to do my taxes or getting my dad to do them. because that was the most stressful thing in my entire life. And I realized I need to marry a tax person, like somebody who does taxes, because I'm never doing them by myself ever again. And I don't even care. Like, I don't even make that much money. So, like, I didn't really get that much money back or anything. At least I didn't have to pay anything, but I didn't get money back. And honestly, it didn't even matter because I did get money back, but I feel like it was so much stress that I just wish somebody else would do it for me. And I don't even have to care. I don't even care if I had to pay somebody to do it for me because it was the most stressful thing in the entire world. Okay, off my little rant there. Back to the page. You're probably like, Tori, that's enough talk about taxes. Let's talk about the scrapbook page. So what I did was I added those letters to the bottom left and the top right corner, and I really like the effect that it gives. And then I had some extra letters, so what I decided to do was stick those underneath the photo, and I think it looks really fun. And I know that they don't really have a point, but they're sort of just adding like dimension and like a fun effect to the page. And I felt like the page was about stress and confusion and all these forms and all these letters and numbers. I felt like worked really well. I wanted to add just a little bit more, so I grabbed these Kelly Perky letter stickers. They're black, and I just added some of those like in between those big chipboard letters just to add a little more something something. And I'm really happy with the way that this turns out. And you know what? I actually don't embellish this page like at all. You'll see when I'm done. Mostly I just keep those letters as being like the embellishment and the dimension and texture and stuff like that. So once I finish that, I'm trying to figure out where or how to do my title and my journaling. And I had this word from a foam sticker sheet. I believe it's Amy Tangerine that said blah. And I really wanted to use that for the title because that's how I felt. But it didn't stand out on the black stripe paper. So what I did was I grabbed this white cardstock that also came in the kit, and I put the blah on top of that and then just fussy cut around it, which I actually like the way it looks. It makes it stand out more from the other letters that are on the background. And I'm just going to glue that down at the bottom of the photo. So my title is blah because that's how I was feeling. And then I'm going to add my journaling. I thought about using a frame for my journaling, but then I decided not to. Instead, I'm going to grab out my journaling 3x4 cards, Project Life cards, and use one of those. And I grabbed this one, and it has like this diagonal black stripe and then also like lines where you can do your journaling. So I'm going to stick that on the side there, and I decided to have it hanging off so it wasn't the perfect 3x4. And I like the way that that works, and I decided to use the other piece on the opposite side to sort of balance it a little bit. So I'm just adhering that down with some score tape, and then I just used a black pen to do an outline around those two just to make them stand out a little bit more. And then I'm going to add my journaling on top of that. And I also used a roller date stamp to add the date, which was April 30th, on the top left-hand corner spot where I just stuck that little extra piece. And I'm just journaling about what I told you. Everyone kept saying it's easy. I, on the other hand, found doing my taxes anything but easy. Finally, Deb and Josh decided to help me, and you know what happened? They were just as stressed as me. Next year, I'll pay someone for sure. So I just added that journaling there. And if you are somebody who does taxes for a living, congratulations, you are amazing and you can do something I can't do. So I felt like it just needed a couple extra touches, especially in that top left-hand corner. So what I did was I grabbed a couple they're not die cuts, they came from a cut-apart sticker sheet from the Felicity Jane Susie kit. I grabbed a banner, or 2 banners, and just stuck them up there. And I just went with black as well. And then I grabbed one circle, which had a sketchy star in it, and added that on top of the journaling part. And that's it. The page is done. I'm gonna slow it down, hold it up so you guys can check it out. And I just want to say thank you so much for joining me. I hope that you're really excited that I'm back to scrapbook pages, and I plan on doing many more. Have a lovely day. Bye.